right, ladies and gents, waiting for all of our streams to pop up. Sometimes Facebook lags a little bit. All right, ladies and gents, welcome to the Edge Live Friday Q&A that we do every Friday. That's right, we are pretty consistent, aren't we? Pretty reliable. Today, it's me, Kylan. I'm a front-end developer, and I'm joined by Maverick, one of our business development, the business development manager, I think superstar.
Wow, I like that. I think I have one underling.
One underling,
I make them.
Oh, you're talking about Peter?
Yeah, I make them do all the work, and then I take credit for it. That's
what
a boss
a manager.
does. Exactly.
That is what a manager does.
I think I've perfected it.
Well, I guess we should start off by saying happy 10th birthday. I was going to say anniversary. I don't know if that's the right word. Birthday to Bitcoin. And to all you Bitcoin lovers out there, I have a feeling there's probably a few of you watching this stream. Happy birthday to Bitcoin, right? Hopefully you're doing plenty of things to celebrate. It's crazy to think that it's already been 10 years. I don't know if that makes Bitcoin seem old or if it makes me feel old or a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
A little bit of both. At what year did you find out about Bitcoin?
Let's see. How old was I? Well, I found out about it in 2013. And I immediately, I thought it was interesting. I started, getting into monetary theory before that, and I was like,
monetary theory.
Well, I was in the university at the time. I was studying finance.
His master's thesis.
Yeah, and I thought a lot of the stuff I was being taught was kind of bullshit, and started getting into alternative stuff, and Bitcoin popped up on my radar a few times, but then I realized I didn't know anything about technology whatsoever. I knew a little bit about money, but Bitcoin really blew my doors in a lot of different ways, and I think a lot of people can attest to it's made them more, more well-rounded in or more knowledgeable in a lot of different subjects.
Right.
Just like I don't know what public key cryptography was or distributed systems, Byzantine
what kind of life were you
tolerance.
leading?
One of ignorance and bliss.
So you felt like you were being fed a little bit of BS in your econ classes. And then you went into cryptocurrency. Now most of it's BS.
I mean, I remember asking my professors about fractional reserve banking.
Yeah,
and it just didn't make sense to me. They
didn't really have a good symbol, and then they it wasn't really a good.
Yeah, there really was never really a good explanation of it, other than this is kind of like how it works. And I think I think the best explanation of it, or the best argument for it, is kind of like it puts economic growth on steroids. Because it kind of, it's like a web of promises, and as long as as long as everyone doesn't pull out their money at the same time, then we're all good. So we just pretend like it's all there, and we just keep going.
Steroids, you have the cycle though. You know what I mean? You have to come down off the cycle,
so
and then
definitely
things start to shrivel up.
It can definitely beef things up. The credit cycle can definitely beef things up, but then there's also a downside. There's cost to these things, and this is one of the interesting things about Bitcoin and why it was created and the Genesis block and how all this stuff comes together. When Bitcoin, I think when Satoshi released the white paper, the UK and the US and a lot of Western countries were on the brink of a financial collapse, which basically means all our financial institutions were bankrupt. What they call a liquidity crisis in banking is called bankruptcy in other industries, and in other industries you go out of business when you go bankrupt. In the banking industry, you get loans from the government.
Bailouts.
So it's tails they win, tails you or heads you lose. So they make money on the way up, and then on the way down they just get bailed out. And they pretty much they hold everyone's deposits, and they can just lend it out and create money willy-nilly. And if things go wrong, the government comes in and bails out those trusted third parties. And Satoshi came along. He released the white paper in October 2008, and then on January 3rd, which was yesterday, and that's why if you guys were paying attention on social media, there was a lot of hubbub around Bitcoin and the 10th anniversary and proof of keys.
Proof of keys. So, I mean, you're talking about liquidity crisis. So one of the big concerns over the years with cryptocurrency is, you have these exchanges where you can buy and sell cryptocurrency, maybe fiat to crypto or crypto to crypto. Then you have all these extra tools where you can do some sort of leveraging And sometimes you get the exchanges that are essentially loaning out cryptocurrency, but they don't have enough actual cryptocurrency reserves to back up. They don't have enough reserves to actually back up the amount of cryptocurrency funds that they're loaning out. And some people think that that is a little bit too similar to the fractional reserve banking system that we see in the traditional banking system, which is, as you mentioned, has had all sorts of issues. So we had this hold your keys sort of movement. I think it's Trace Mayer, who's pretty well known in
He actually lives here in San Diego.
There you go.
Yeah, and
lots of good ideas in San Diego.
For sure, just bubbling with talent.
Yeah, but the idea is kind of to put the exchanges on their heels, maybe shake them out a little bit, see whether they are really holding enough reserves to, how would you say it, to, in case there were a run on the exchanges. I think we've seen some pretty good results. I wasn't expecting to see many results, but some exchanges were shutting things down. They're suspending accounts, suspending withdrawals, all sorts of crazy stuff, which gives you an idea that even if we aren't bankrupting any of the exchanges, we are at least putting them on their heels so that they know, okay, maybe our users here are not okay with us doing some sort of fractional reserve banking. Yeah,
the whole movement is a win-win. It's a win in the sense if things go wrong in exchanges, these I guess fraudulent or they might not be malicious, but they might be incompetent. They're exposed, and if no one is exposed, then we know that we have some institutions that have proven their merit up to a certain point. And one of the key things, or the key innovation behind Bitcoin, is reducing your exposure and reliance on trusted third parties. In the fiat system, you pretty much don't have a choice, and it's not practical to not rely on trusted third parties. So, keeping cash in your house, or boatloads of cash, is not practical. In Bitcoin,
you'll get in trouble for having boatloads of cash.
You could and in Bitcoin you can hold it on your own pretty trivially easy. There's really no space. You don't need extra space or extra physical security. You're not going to be loaded up with dollar bills or anything like that.
Right.
And the fiat system, you pretty much have to what is it? Set up like a deposit or checking account, right? For any type of practical use, and sending money electronically, where Bitcoin is native to communication networks and the internet and stuff like that. So Bitcoin reduces your need to trust third parties, which is pretty much non-existent in the other system.
Oh yeah.
When you take control of your keys, you pretty much keep it a user-based, decentralized system. When you keep your money on an exchange, it makes the system more reliant on institutions being honest and competent, right? Which the whole point of Bitcoin is to reduce that as much as possible. And that's what we do at Edge, is try to give you control over your assets and connect you directly to this peer-to-peer network. We're not in the business of making a institution-to-institution based system. We already have that.
Yeah.
What we want is a decentralized system, and something like proof of keys and taking over your keys is not only beneficial for yourself. You don't have to trust other institutions with your money, but it also helps it in a global perspective, in the sense that we don't have institutions that are either doing fractional reserve stuff, loaning your money out, and we become less reliant on them. We don't have too big to fail.
Yeah.
If exchanges are only holding a small percentage of the supply, and an exchange fails or they do something dishonest, the economies around these networks aren't going to be affected. If people are just leaving money, a lot of money on these exchanges, then their behavior really can affect maybe not the protocol itself, but just the activity around these networks.
Yeah, and the idea that some of these exchanges are suspending people's accounts, suspending withdrawals, just actually kind of just proves what we're, it's more evidence to what we're trying to prove. When it comes to cryptocurrency, you don't want middlemen where you have to ask permission to send money somewhere, to withdraw money somewhere, or whatever. So this should be a little bit of a reminder if you're seeing some of these headlines, or maybe your account was one of the ones that's suspended, then maybe your money shouldn't be in exchange in the first place. You might think, oh, well, you know what, if I have to pull it out, you can usually pull it out, no problem. Well, if there's a run on something and you really need to pull something out, if everyone thinks they need to pull their money out, guess what? That's the one, that's one of the main times when you're not going to be able to, when they're going to make sure that you're not able to. So I think a lot of people are kind of resting on their laurels a little bit when it comes to leaving money on exchanges these days. Seems like there have been fewer hacks, but all it takes is some, catastrophic event, and you could be completely out of all your money.
I mean, the Mt. Gox is the seminal example, right? Like, people were just leaving their money on an institution, and that institution had a fairly large percentage of Bitcoin holdings. They went bust, and it probably set back Bitcoin a little bit in terms
like a year or
two, and definitely depressed the price, but long term healthy, showing that you can't trust people with your money, whether it be in crypto or in the fiat system. And if a similar movement happened in the fiat system, it would literally collapse.
Oh yeah,
like the money is not there, and
the
central banks would have to flood the zone with liquidity and make sure and bail these bankrupt institutions
out. It almost
out.
makes you wonder why they haven't. Maybe why hasn't something like that happened? Where I guess people are just okay with fractional reserve banking because maybe they need loans, I guess, or I don't know. Are they like getting the interest, to the minimal amount of interest they get on their deposits?
I think that's its own rabbit hole.
Yeah,
that would end up going into conspiracy theories.
Yeah, so we do, for those of you who are watching, we're on Twitter, Facebook, and YouTube, I believe, and Periscope, which is kind of Twitter anyway. If you guys have any questions or comments, I am seeing some comments here on Periscope. Let's see here. One person asked, Richard Icar, hopefully I said that right, says, does Edge support ERC20? Yes, we support all ERC20 tokens. In fact, all you need to do to add a token is you'll click on the three dots on an Ethereum wallet. There should be a drop down that says add/edit tokens, and in there you should be able to add a custom token as long as you know the number of decimal places and the contract address for that token. Then you should be good to go. It's essentially can do any sort of ERC20 token. You can even create your own ERC20 token, and then use Edge Wallet in order to to have people hold it.
Yeah, and Richard, if you go to your Ethereum wallet and tap on the three dots on the right, and you'll see a little menu drop down, and you can click on add or edit tokens, and it'll take you to that the appropriate screen. So it's not like right there in your face, but it's in your Ethereum wallet. Click on the three dots and you'll be good to go.
Yep. Let's see here. RCRA Hool RC. Man, I don't know where you guys come up with some of these usernames. Edge Wallet is awesome and very simple to use. My keys, my crypto. This guy gets it.
Exactly.
It's what we're trying to do. It's your money. You shouldn't have to ask for permission. All right. We're too edgy. Oh, the crypto show. We got the guys from the crypto show watching. Well, it's good because, I listen to their podcast.
They do a great job.
Yeah, it's a nice little partnership we have going. What is the main difference between Edge and other wallets out there like WireX, Trust Wallet? I don't know what WireX and Trust Wallet are. There's so many wallets out there at this point. Definitely, I'm trying to think here. It depends what you consider a wallet. Some people consider exchanges wallets, which I think is questionable.
I think he's mentioning non-custodial. I think that's well, we could look it up right now. Let's see.
Yeah.
Trust Wallet, but I'd say
you look it up. So with Edge, we definitely have it so that you have control of your private keys. Ultimately, you don't need our servers in order for the main functionality of your wallet to work. So if our company explodes tomorrow and we're all dead, and I'm not around, then your wallet will still work fine. We would recommend you get it out of that wallet eventually. But yeah, the wallet points at the blockchain and some independent nodes, so you can still interact with the blockchain.
It depends on
all you need to do to decrypt your files is your or your data is your username and password. So you don't need us for that either once you have it downloaded on your actual phone. So yeah, we definitely try to make it as well, how would I say it, as less dependent on us as is possible, that's how cryptocurrency should work.
Yep. So I'm looking at Trust Wallet, and it's hard to compare us to other wallets because there are a lot of different things that people do. But Trust Wallet in particular, it seems like they're just focused on Ethereum, where we have a lot more of the, I guess they'd be called top 10 assets right now. So you can things like Bitcoin, Monero, Bitcoin Cash, XRP,
yeah,
Litecoin.
Like
But comparing us to other non-custodial mobile wallets, I'd say one of the distinguishing feature is the username password combo. What a lot of them have kind of gotten rid of that, and we wanted to keep the same usability patterns that people are used to, and we also use that as user generated randomness to encrypt accounts, and they also act as a backup. So we are able to I guess reproduce encrypted backups or
there's
if someone, so for example, if you let's say you're crossing the border and you don't want to be, or you're going through TA and they want to know about your crypto holdings or whatnot, you could delete your wallet beforehand, and all you have to know is your username and password. You could cross the border or go through airport security or whatnot, immigration's customs, and then re-download the wallet and then just put in your username and password, and all your funds will be right there.
Right there,
yeah. So we can use that combo, and we support multiple assets, and that combo right there will back up all your assets, and it really becomes a multi-asset brain wallet, which would really be impossible if you're just using 12-word seeds. So if you're using a non-custodial wallet that they don't hold your funds, so you don't need to necessarily trust them. But if you're using a non-custodial wallet that has multiple assets, say you have Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, XRP, you would need to write down or memorize the master seeds for all those
mnemonic phrases.
Right, so we
have a
compress
core,
that.
Yeah, we make it so that there's a core edge account that you have with us, and that account manages the private keys of the individual wallets, if that makes sense. Now, for clarification, when we back it up to our servers, it's encrypted. We're open source, so you can verify that if you know any code. Because we don't want anyone, the truth is we don't want your private keys. That's just more responsibility than anything, and we want you to be in control of things. But yeah, if you lose your phone, are you going to go in and enter all 20 of your 12-seed mnemonic phrases? I think that's a complete usability fail. In fact, now when I try to test out other people's wallets where they do stuff like that and they want me to write stuff down, I just stop doing it. I just don't do it.
Yeah.
It's a non-starter for me, and for the large majority of people out there, it's a non-starter. They're not there. They don't have a pen and paper ready to write down some nonsense
and
phrase.
those 12 or 24 words, it works, but they really have no. They're supposed to be random, so they really have no relation to you at all. Where a username and password can it'll be much easier to remember for you personally.
Yep.
And we're able to compress, maybe. If you have a lot of different wallets, 240 words into a username and password that can be, just typed in and everything's recreated. And like Kylan said, the encrypted backups sit on our servers, and if that worries you, you shouldn't be, because each of those accounts is encrypted with their own set of keys, right? So if someone got into our, maybe a malicious employee like Kylan, or a black hat hacker got in, they would have to go one by one in different accounts, and each account has its own key, something or secret that'll open it up, and there's no way for them to know that.
Part of that's based on your password. So
yeah, and your username and your the username is not an email; it's not a phone number. It's basically impossible for them to know, and there's game theory in that, right? They're only going to have so much time and resources to kind of go after accounts. and they have no idea how much is in. So they could be spending a lot of time and resources on an account in this server, and there's only.
I don't even think they're going to know which account's yours, if I
No,
remember
they
correctly, because
won't.
our account
Well,
ID
there's
is
nothing-
like a hash of your username anyway,
there's
so they won't even know which.
Yeah, there's no
they won't-
personal
They
information.
won't even know which account to go into. They'll
Yeah.
have to try to brute force all.
Even if
of them.
Kylan wanted your account, he couldn't do it.
Yeah, well, I'm just not competent enough anyway.
I'm not going to argue with
I
that.
can hardly get
I'm not
into
gonna-
my own account. All right, we got a bunch of questions here. How about recovery if Apple removed your app from the store? Yeah, so there's a bunch of things there. Then that's obviously a concern. Yeah, Apple, they have been known to remove applications from their store. Of course, you would still be able to do things on. So for starters, just because they remove the app from the store, I
mean
don't
they remove the
it's
app
not
from your
off
phone.
your phone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And most likely, if something like that happened, we would probably put out some PR to let people at least know that something's up. You could go on Android and your account's still fine. Trying to think what else.
Yeah. So what is it called? If you don't trust us at all, we always leave the option open to write down your master private seed. So
Yeah,
it's still,
you can
those
still-
things are still there. We just want to compress it. Because there's a continuum between trust and trustlessness, right? And Bitcoin doesn't eliminate trust 100%. It eliminates or it minimizes it to an unprecedented level, right? And we try to make it as trustless as possible and as pure as we can. But we also want to be, as a company, we add value to users. Not everyone wants to have maximum sovereignty all the time. And if you have maximum sovereignty all the time, that can be quite a bad user experience. But if you don't trust us at all, you can always write down the seed. If you go into your say you have a Bitcoin wallet, you go to the three dots on the right, you tap on that, and you can. There's a master private seed.
Yeah, export privacies. Or no,
Yeah,
it's not
you
an
can write
export.
that down.
It's something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, and then we have you can connect to your own node if you don't even want to connect to the nodes that we connect you to, right? So
Right.
you can really use Edge in a really trust minimized way. You don't have to really think we're competent or honest or anything like that.
Yeah, and also, if you had an Android phone or if your friend had an Android phone, you can always go on there, assuming we're not removed from Android. You know what? Even if we are removed from the Google Play Store, we have the ability, we have the APK up on our website. So if you go to edge.app/app, you can download the APK. So even if we get kicked out of Google Play Store, the Google App
Yeah.
Store, you can still download the app
And
anyway.
I knew it is a concern because I know other wallets have had issues with I guess app stores, but we really haven't. And we've been around since 2013. They know us, and we haven't really had issues with it.
Yeah, I don't know what issues we would have, and we've been pretty careful not to do
I think
anything.
people could be worried
weird.
about the recent deplatforming and tech
Right.
censorship. So
Right.
it is a concern. We haven't really experienced any type of nasty behavior from Google or Apple, but things can change, and we would definitely update our users and make sure everything's all right.
Yeah, and we're eventually going to add, at least it's on the long-term roadmap, to add a desktop application as well. So once we get that going, then you'll be able to just download the full desktop app, and then if there's a problem with your phone or whatever, you still have the account on your.
That's actually a good scenario. If,
on your
say
desktop.
Apple they hate Edge and they want to kick us off. Say they do, and they are somehow able to erase the application from your phone. I don't know how they would do that. You would just take your username and password, download the future desktop wallet,
Right.
and put in your username and password, and all your assets will show up right where they were.
Yeah. So PWL22. Yeah, I see. Thank you for sending us questions. We try to get to as many of them as we can. He's asking, are we able to download the encrypted information that is sent to our servers? I think if you were to send, I shouldn't be saying this, but if you were to send us a manual request for something like that, we could do that. From what I know right now, I don't think we have that functionality completely available right now. And there's the question of, even if you download the information, do you know what to do with it? It's not just, oh, hey, decrypt it and then everything's fine. I don't think. I think that there's more steps to it than just that. But maybe at some point we could create like an export file, that has like everything in it. But we'd have to think about the security implications before we do something like that. Because once you start exporting private keys or displaying private keys, then there are things that can get wrong. That can go wrong. There could be a virus on Android that takes a screenshot of your private keys. Potentially, they could do that.
Just keep in mind that your account is encrypted with your credentials even before it hits the disk on your phone. And it's encrypted before it hits our servers, and we don't know what your personal key is. And every account has their own key. So if we have 2 million accounts, there's 2 million different keys.
Yeah. So let's see here. So I don't know if any of you guys are going to be at the North American Bitcoin Conference, but I know our team is Maverick will be there. Actually, I think several people from our team will be there.
It's a homecoming.
I wish I could go because last year was a lot of fun. It'll be interesting to see what the vibe is like. Last year was just pandemonium. I mean, it's just complete craziness. People throwing money all over the place.
A lot of junk ICOs.
Oh, tons of junk ICOs. Yeah, it was kind of at the peak of the craziness.
We were. I think we were one of the only booths that had like a product.
An actual product.
An actual technology that people use, not.
But we weren't doing an ICO. People like, oh, you're not doing an ICO. Oh, no, not interested.
That's fine.
Well, if you bought into a bunch of those ICOs, I mean, maybe you could have made money, but a lot of them have just completely tanked over the last year.
Good. Good.
Yeah, you reap what you sow, man. You reap what you sow. Let's see here. What else we got?
Any other questions?
Oh, Fortnite.
Oh, yeah,
accepting Monero payments. So I've always thought that two of the big industries that should be maybe we should be focusing on a little bit more than some of the others are, of course, gaming. The other one is adult content. We'll just call it that. I feel like Kenny Bosak's like leading the way over there on that one.
Exactly. Thank you for all you do, Kenny.
Yeah, Kenny, you are quite the evangelist. All right.
Hey, the sex industry is always trailblazing.
It
is. It is a what is it called? It's in our loins.
They have cutting edge.
It's just humans love sex.
If
humans love sex and they love money, and sex and money coming together is a beautiful thing.
I think if something were to happen to Edge and just, the company implodes or something, which I don't see happening, but if it did happen, I would probably start looking at Spank Chain or or gaming as well. But yeah, so Fortnite accepting Monero payments. We're stopping. Happy birthday to you. Sorry, guys, it's Brett's birthday.
I just turned 13.
Happy birthday to you.
This better be gluten-free. This better be gluten-free.
Happy birthday, dear Brett.
You shouldn't have.
Woo!
Where's my fork?
Happy birthday to you.
Is this a hard fork? I only do soft forks. I only do. Okay. Good. It's a soft fork, guys. Yeah.
There he is.
All right, hold on. Let me.
He's 18. He's just barely legal now. Isn't that right, Brett?
What was that? Did you make a pass at me right now?
You're barely legal. Congratulations. All right. Yeah. All right, ladies and gents, for the audience out there,
just came true.
Everyone watching, we will see you guys next Friday. We're here every Friday. So until next time, guys, take care.
Don't cut out yet. I got
he says don't cut out
for my birthday.
What'd you wish for?
Proof of cake.
You wished for moon, right?
I said you got cheese.
That was good.
All right, guys. Till next time.